Yeah, this is non-stop L's at this point.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so don't expect this to be a long video. It's not a ton to talk about, and I think you guys know that. But here is a quote from Brett Brown that I want to go over, and this is about pertaining to the 10-game losing streak, vaguely. Now, before we talk about that really quick, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemmerchfan.com, link in the description there. I really do appreciate all the love. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So before we look at this quote, okay, the San Antonio Spurs are not fun to watch at all for me. And it's really hard. Not saying that it's impossible, okay, because I do love talking about the Spurs, but it is becoming very hard to find much of anything to talk about. Not because we're losing. I totally expect us to lose. I was expecting to have a lot of fun this season, actually, even with the L's. But it's like we're not even developing completely. You know what I mean? Like, I look at Devin Vassell, I look at Keldon Johnson. I got a lot of heat from this before. I don't think that I'm getting as much heat from it now because people just now seeing it. But Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson, they have a pretty clear ceiling. It's pretty obvious what type of players they are. Now, that doesn't mean that they're trash or anything. It just means that, hey, they're, in my opinion, they're role players, but you know, they could potentially be all-stars, but you can also be a role player and be an all-star. But I'm just saying that overall, they're not stars. They're not going to be superstars. I don't see it that way at all. We definitely need some more talent in this upcoming draft for us to start a dynasty. And I saw this a long time coming. And right now that we're not seeing Jeremy Sohan get a lot of minutes. Now, Malachi Branham, he's able to, you know, put in some minutes or whatnot, but that's the only player that I'm seeing develop right now, is at least from the young guys. And it's just hard to watch, man. It's just not fun. I just don't care about any vets out there. I don't care. I care about them as far as them being on our team and whatnot, but I don't care to see them lose. You know what I mean? It doesn't help anything. Trey Jones is who he is. Keldon is who he is. And I know that they're getting better. They're becoming better players, but at the same time, they're not. The ceiling is obvious, okay? So me not seeing Jeremy Sohan, Primo doing what he did, it's just a sucky season, man. But let's go ahead and go through this quote from your boy Brett Brown, because some people have suspect that he will be the coach after Pop leaves. I have no idea. All right, let's go ahead and read this. So he says, I mean, look at the life I've lived. I've lived a life where I hope, get a credible answer. There's always a slippery slope where you have to demand. They love being coached by Pop. They like it when Pop bites them. You need to have that sting in that bite so they feel like they're being coached and getting better. And Coach Pop is best at that. So when do you give them love and when do you bite them? There's no book that tells you how to do that. You figure out the pulse of the gym. That's one thing. Two, the locker room is amazing. Those guys are high character young men that just want to get better, and it's our job to do it. And to navigate your question about the locker room is always on our mind. With those two things that we spoke of, I think we'll be in good shape. So I want to just point this out and then we'll get out of here. I said this before, but I'll say it again. This team is a very strong-willed team, okay? We're not the only team that goes through a tank and reacts the way that we've reacted, but I love the fact, and I loved this last season too, there is no finger pointing. Like, no one's pointing the finger. No one's getting angry with each other. You don't see it, because usually, you know, when a team is losing, it kind of bleeds onto the court too. You're not seeing it bleed onto the court. They're not pointing each other out. They're not getting angry with each other. It seems like a lot of support on the court, and from what Brett Brown is saying, it's probably going on in the locker room as well. So this, I would assume, and obviously me not being a coach, maybe I don't know, but like I would assume that for guys like Brett Brown, who's, you know, veterans at this point, Coach Pop, this is a really easy team to coach because of that character there. I mean, shoot, even with the Primo thing, that was so hush hush. That was such a in the background, demons in the closet type thing that you couldn't even tell that he had anything remotely like that going on, at least from what, you know, the information that we got thus far, that it kind of threw some people off. But I don't know, who knows, maybe it didn't. But as it stands right now, the team that we have right now, that's all we can focus on. I think it's a really good team, and I absolutely love it. I just really hate the fact that we're seeing players out there right now that just their ceiling is just so obvious, and there's no real point right now. And it's like, I just want to see our guys develop. I think things are going to get much better once Blake Wesley come back, once Jeremy Sohan comes back, and Malachi Branham gets real minutes. I think things are going to look way better. But right now it's just like, oh dude, I just can't. I can't deal. But I'll get with you guys later, man. If you want to support the channel, as always, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description, or become a patron and YouTube member, only $2 per month. But yeah, thanks for all the love, guys. Until next time, man.